watching, and make sure that you tune in next week because we have a special interactive episode where you can grab some easy VC.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal on 2K Sports. It's been an interesting season so far. Lots of action, lots of intrigue. And coming right up, we'll see the Utah Jazz playing against the New York Knicks in New York. And a nice roll continues.
Let's get your New York Knicks starting lineup. Starting at small forward, 6 feet 7 inches, number 18, James Ennis. Starting at shooting guard, at 6 foot 6 inches, number 2.
It's an interconference contest here in the Big Apple, New York, as the Knicks play.
You know, you always try and get that first game that starts on.
Paul kicks to Porzingis, and the dunk by Porzingis.
CP3 moving the basketball around. That's what you want out of your point guard.
And watching Porzingis play, you know, you forget how tall he really is in terms of how he moves. You know, not only how quick he is, but also that skill set. Incredible that a player his size won the skills competition in last year's All-Star festivities.
And that is what fools a lot of NBA fans about Porzingis. Most of the highlights, Greg, you see are his blocks and putback dunks, but if you watch his game, you see that skill level.
It's rare to see a player who's the complete package like Porzingis. I mean, he's fluid. He's got the easy-looking shot. It almost looks like he's a guard shooting the basketball, comfortable creating for himself or playing off others. And love how Paul seeks out his teammates. Superb at slicing the D to pieces with his passing.
All against Nelson. Gobert, the screen. Love kicks to Fournier. Clock at 6. Goes up off the pick. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow. Here's Abrinas. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Ibaka, the pass to Abrinas. Porzingis against Gobert. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You know, from a legacy perspective, Chris Paul is just incredible. Career averages of 19 and 10. He just produces at a high level for his team every single season.
And for Paul, the numbers back up what many say, which is he is one of the best point guards ever to play. Last year, it was 18 points and 9 assists a game. Visually, Steve, he passes the eye test on the court.
Yes, he does. He has established himself as one of the best all-around point guards to ever play. His ability to create for himself and others and shoot it at a high level. And he's great defensively as well.
And it's the Knicks with the ball after the basket by Utah. Ibaka with the screen on Nelson. Shot off the pick. And he hits the jumper for 2.
You can see just how polished a shooter Chris Paul is. His form could not be any better.
Nelson against Paul. Love outside. Lets it go from deep. Hits the three-point bomb. Love's got 6.
He's made that three-point shot a staple in his arsenal. You can't sag off Kevin Love.
Here's Abrinas. He's guarded by Fournier. Kicks it to Paul. Beyond the arc. Drills it from outside. 7 points in the game.
Impressive start here. That's 5 straight makes to start the game.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, I caught up with Coach Jeff Hornacek. This is the first meeting of the season between these teams, and he stressed to his guys the need to rely on their instincts at the offensive end. He said, we do a good job of finding soft spots in defenses without forcing things. If we keep doing that, we'll be in good shape. We'll see if they can keep that up tonight. Kevin, back to you.
Thanks a lot, David. Their focus is going to be on good shot selection here early, guys.
And it's going to take a team effort. They can't have guys going solo and getting themselves into tough one-on-one situations.
It wouldn't hurt to focus on their low post game. It doesn't get any more high percentage than those easy looks in tight.
At the elbow, it's Ibaka. There's the pick for Porzingis. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
You've got to give a ton of credit to the screener. That play easily opened up the easy layup for his teammate.
Now the dish to Love. Serge Ibaka pulls it in. The Knicks leading by 7. Ennis with the ball. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. And the pass to Abrinas. Off target there, that would have pushed the lead to double digits. Now, here's Ingles. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Here's Nelson. And Gobert with the basket on the assist by Nelson.
He's not a focal point for the defense, but you can't let Gobert get the ball that deep.
And here is Paul. He's coming off a 22-point game against Cleveland.
And he was also a terrific creator in that game as well. His assist total show you what a fantastic all-around effort it was. And their offense already in a flow, some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
To the inside. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Rudy Gobert not content to just take the foul, used his size to follow through for the bucket. Well, Rudy Gobert drafted the 27th pick in the 2013 draft. The Jazz looked at him as just a project, but his development has been rapid.
A free throw drops for Gobert. And Gobert may be the most impactful defender in the NBA. Steve, do you think he has a chance to become the best international player in this league?
You know, I think if his offense can catch up with his defense, he's transformed the Jazz into one of the elite defensive teams in the NBA. So, yes, I think he has a chance. It all depends on his offense.
And it's the Knicks with the ball. Now Fournier, he's coming off a 13-point game against Minnesota. Ball against Nelson. Love with the screen for Nelson. Love with the screen on Paul. Just 4 to shoot. And that's good. Kevin Love for 3. Love's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for Utah. Left side, Porzingis. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Porzingis has got 6 points.
The execution on point. Just terrific timing on these passes.
You know what? Controlling the pace, being patient, great vision. We're seeing it all tonight.
Porzingis with the block.
And with his length, Porzingis can be very disruptive on D. Not easy to get the shot off over that huge frame.
Now here's Fournier looking for his first basket still in this one. And Gobert kicks to Fournier. Nice ball movement by Utah. Gobert the screen. That ties it up.
Yeah, that's too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
New York's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Ball kicks to Porzingis. Let's go. Love grabs the board.
An uncontested look from mid-range. He typically drains that one.
Dishes it to Gobert over Porzingis. Gobert can't hit.
And I'll tell you, the sooner this quarter can end, the happier he'll be. It's been tough making shots.
It's Nelson up top, defended by Paul. Love against Ibaka. From about 16, it's rebounded by New York. Coming into this, having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
Yeah, and some nights, you know, the starters carry the load, and then there's others when it's about the bench. That night, the bench won out.
Sometimes when you go to your second unit, sometimes the offense can bog down. Not that night.
Here's Fournier following the basket by Chris Paul. And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. So for the Knicks, Bertans, he's checked in for Ennis, and Monk's subbed in for Alex Abrinas. The Jazz also changing it up. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Love. Bellinelli comes in for Joe Ingles, and Farrell subbed in for Nelson. Here's Gobert, and slam dunk by Gobert.
Gobert is a high percentage shooter from the interior, especially when he's dropping the hammer.
Paul dishes to Monk. Porzingis against Gobert. Here's Monk. No good that time. And it's Utah the other way, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, they were able to keep it close for the most part, but you could just tell they were not in sync as a unit.
Communication seemed to be missing, and if you want to come away with a lot of wins, you have to have that.
Now here's Gobert after the miss from Malik Monk. So they take the lead. And it's a three-point Jazz lead.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Now, here's Ibaka. One of the dependable scorers on the team. He's averaging close to 17 points a game.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
And so it's Utah here with the ball. Following the Porzingis miss from deep, Farrell kicks to Gobert. Ilyasova a screen. Fournier for three, and Utah another three. Smitty, you call college basketball games as well. We know you had a terrific career in East Lansing with Michigan State. We're starting to hear from some players, Ben Simmons for one, critiquing the college basketball system for the financial setup and the stringent eligibility rules. Do you give any credence to these complaints? Is the kid right? What changes you think might be made? It's a loaded question with a lot of answer, I'm sure, to it. But it's certainly on the tip of a lot of people's tongue right now.
And I think it should be. You've had some coaches coming out and saying there's some kind of way to be able to change this system and be able to benefit some of these players. I look at it some way, Kevin, where there's some kind of way you have an insurance policy for these guys, or some kind of way that they'll be able to finish their degree, even go on to finish their master's degree as long as they want from any college, not just the college they came from. But I also think some kind of way there should be some kind of financial stipend for these guys.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Now here's Paul. 9 points in the game so far. Gobert against Porzingis. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And the Utah Jazz watch their star player, Gordon Hayward, depart for Boston in free agency this past summer.
Yeah, and Kevin, especially for small market teams, that's always the concern, attracting and retaining star talent. The loss of Hayward, a real setback for this young team.
That free throw good from Porzingis. JaVale McGee's checked in for the Knicks. Matthew Dellavedova comes in for Paul. Utah also making some changes. Tarek Black, he's checked in for Gobert. Rodney Stuckey's subbed in for Evan Fournier. And he can't hit the second. And what was a wild ride of an offseason for the Knicks ultimately results in a regime change.
Yeah, I mean, players butting heads with executives, and when it came down to it, things just needed to change. If the Knicks picked the Zen Master over Porzingis, fans might have rioted in New York City, and hopefully the franchise can kind of start to right the ship. They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Porzingis passes to Bertans. And McGee kicks to Porzingis. Screen by Porzingis, and they call an illegal screen here.
Yeah, and those illegal screens have really become a point of emphasis for the officials.
Yeah, so many of these can go either way. Very difficult for the screener to stay 100% motionless.
The Knicks making a switch here. Green's checked in. Here's Farrell. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Bellinelli, guarded by Green. It's tipped. Here's Monk. Lets it go. Goes back up. In deep, McGee drops it in. McGee has got his first points of the night. And so is Utah, with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're shooting the ball so well in this one. A great performance from the field. We'll return shortly. And Serge Ibaka, known for his shooting ability now, he talked about the confidence his teammates and his coach instilled in him.
He trusts you. Every time he passes the ball, when you don't shoot, he's screaming you, shoot ball. Then next time what? You will shoot. And if he misses, he say, yeah, good shot. You know, and your coaches in the practice talking to your teammates. Man, when Serge is open, give him the ball. He will make that shot.
Well, if you wonder how much difference a coach can make for a player, there it is, huh?
You heard it in Serge's voice, too. That confidence has already been planted in him. That voice telling him, shoot the ball, is now in his own head. He's going to be just fine.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And the guys, what's your take on Utah so far?
I mean, they just got hot early from beyond the arc, and we'll just have to wait and see if they can keep that going.
They also want to be unpredictable. Mix up the play calling. Keep the defense guessing.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for the Knicks, they've got JaVale McGee. Matthew Dellavedova is out there with Monk. Then it's Green, and it's Bertzinis in at the 4. Now, here's Green. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
Here's Farrell. They lead by 1. Here's Black. Here's Bellinelli. McGee with the block.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
That gives them the lead. And the Knicks lead by 2.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Farrell kicks to Black. Ilyasova a screen. Nice ball movement by Utah. Stuckey into the lane. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Stuckey's got it all tied up now for Utah. For New York, they've gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the second. Green, the screen. Dellavedova kicks to Bertans. Back to Dellavedova. Feeds to Monk. New York needs to get off a shot. The 3 from Bertans. Black grabs the board.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
Stuckey dishes to Ilyasova. Ilyasova a screen. Stuckey outside. McGee with the block. Now, here's Monk. He's guarded by Stuckey. And Green slams it in.
And you got to appreciate just the presence of mind there. Monk demonstrating solid court awareness by finding the open man.
Here's Farrell. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Ilyasova passes to Stuckey. Here's Farrell, defended by Dellavedova. Off the pick. Rebounded by McGee.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
You can see he's frustrated with that one. Knows it's up to him to make that play. That's one of those where you think you've got it, you relax for just a second, and then you're kicking yourself.
Here's Bellinelli. The shot will not fall. Great tee that time from Green. Here's Monk. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dellavedova. Monk's got his first basket.
And Monk is used to that aggressive type defense, especially when he's that close to the basket. Takes pride in really taking on the teeth of the defense.
Here's Black out left of the wing. Farrell kicks to Bellinelli. Pass to Black. Stuckey dishes to Ilyasova. Three-pointer. Stuckey can't get it to go. And here are the Knicks. They've got a 12-2 run in progress. In the corner, it's Monk. Connects from three-point range. Monk's got the lead up to 7 now for the Knicks.
And Monk's just got a good feel for kind of how to exploit the defense, especially about how quickly he gets his shot off after getting the pass.
Here's Bellinelli. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Farrell passes to Stuckey. Ilyasova a screen. Off the screen. Farrell for three. The Jazz again can't hit it. The Knicks leading by 7. Dellavedova with the ball. McGee up top. Pass to Bertens. McGee a screen. Here's Monk. The offensive rebound. And he gets the bucket. McGee's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
They are just killing them on the interior.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And a first time out of the game called for Utah. And you need talent, Steve, but, you know, the value of chemistry can't be overlooked either. And as a player, how do you make yourself a good teammate? How do you help in that regard toward good chemistry?
Well, I think one is being a good person, understanding the game of life, and it's about winning, not about numbers. It's about letters, W's and L's, and you want W's. You look at a lot of teams, and they play well with each other, and they're unselfish. Unselfish teams usually win.
Well, they said the same thing about you. You're an all-star caliber player, but you're a great teammate. I think for a player, that's like the highest praise you could get.
Yeah, it is. When you start talking about guys that he's a great teammate, whether he's a superstar or a guy, the 12th man, guys want to be around that. And usually you see those guys hang around the league longer than other guys that may be more talented or better players.
Love goes in, and it's blocked. And they get it back. They retain possession. Looking to end the drought. Foul on the play. Basket count, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
Well, that's what you love about Kevin, a star player who also gets those garbage buckets.
This is his 2nd trip to the free throw line. And New York making a change here. Ibaka's checked in, and Utah also making a switch. Rudy Gobert is checked in for Ilyasova. And that one falls for Love.
And last season, the Knicks raised expectations with some of those big free agent signings and trades in the prior year. And let's face it, things just didn't work out quite how they had planned. Some would say they underachieved. Hard pill to swallow for a fan base that went into the year with so much hope.
Now here is Dellavedova. New York moving it around. Here's Ennis. That one off the back iron and out.
Right idea, but just too much heat on him defensively, even with the fadeaway.
Nelson outside. Love with the screen for Ingles. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Ingles has got 7. And a big problem for the Knicks in their shortcomings last season was their defense.
Yeah, and listen, they have some shot blocking, but as a whole, the defense lacked teeth. More than anything else, it played a part in the disappointment of last season's campaign, and it's something they'll be focusing on in the coming years.
And here's Nelson following the three-pointer by Malik Monk. Love against Ibaka. Changes up. Good on that shot. With that, the Knick lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Kevin Love.
Boy, Kevin Love, he's got a knack for getting those high percentage buckets down in the paint.
Now here's Ennis. And McGee kicks to Ennis. And there's the foul. It'll go on Joe Ingles. That is his first foul of the game. A different look for New York. Porzingis is checked in for JaVale McGee. Alex Abrinas comes in for Monk. And Paul subbed in for Matthew Dellavedova. Here's Paul. He's got 9. Abrinas the pass to Paul. Shot clock at 6. Screen by Porzingis. Here's Abrinas. Offensive rebound. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it. And let's take a look at the playmaking here. This chart with the assist totals split between the front court and the back court tonight for the Knicks.
And their guards have been the ones to really set the tone here tonight with their ability to create shots. You talk about the big fellas. They love to play with guards who try to keep them involved offensively.
Jazz trail by 5. Nelson dishes to Love. There's the pick. And Meeks kicks to Gobert. It's a pick by Love. Gobert down low. Guarded by Porzingis. Gobert can't hit. Passes it to Abrinas. Oh, trying for it. And out of bounds as Utah gains possession. Utah has gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Nelson against Paul. Gobert with a screen on Paul. Clock at 6. Love with the screen on Paul. Meeks outside. Here's Gobert. Makes the shot. Basket number 4 this game. Brings him up to 4 for 9.
And with his nightly size advantage, no surprise that Gobert is such a phenomenal rebounder.
Screen by Porzingis. Paul passes to Porzingis. It's deflected. Here's Abrinas. The good-looking shot from the wing. Here's Nelson. He's coming off a 13-point game against Minnesota.
And he passed the ball so well in that game, keeping everybody involved, even as he was racking up all those points.
Love, the basket good off the assist from Nelson. Nelson's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Paul against Nelson. Paul kicks to Porzingis. And again, New York with the triple.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now here's Love. Coming off 31 points last game. Ingles dishes to Love. Love draws the double. Here's Gobert. Porzingis with the block.
His lack of consistency with his shot tonight has held him back.
The feed now to Ennis. With the second effort, and Porzingis with the lay-in. Porzingis has got 12 points in the game.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Love with the screen on Paul. Nelson kicks to Love. Meeks outside. Good on the three-point shot. Meeks got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
The vision of Love, the willingness to make the extra pass, just more reasons why he's so dangerous in this offense.
Now here's Ennis, screened by Ibaka. Shoots from the baseline. Second chance shot. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So he'll head to the free throw line.
And Serge Ibaka, remember, it was a first-team all-defense selection. But over time, I think he's become more of a scoring-minded player, and I think that's affected his impact defensively.
The Jazz making a switch here. Fournier is checked in. Fournier is checked in.
One shot.
And Ibaka, no good on that one.
Oh, from the Republic of Congo, Serge Ibaka, Dikembe Mutombo, and Bismack Biyombo. A lot of big man talent.
And Meeks kicks to Nelson. He feeds it to Gobert. Now, here's Meeks. Back to Gobert. Takes the 13-footer, and he overshot that one, missing. And Serge Ibaka, the league leader in block shots for 2 years in a row in 2012 and 13, but he sends him back at about half the rate he once did.
Yeah, but even still, a pretty good shot blocker. You add in his finishing and outside shooting, and he's a player to be reckoned with.
You know, the Jazz, one of the best run franchises in basketball. They operate in a small market, but still one of the top 6 winningest organization in NBA history.
Nelson kicks to Love. Ball against Fournier. The drive by Love. Nelson, no one around him. Off target with his 3. And Steve, talking about the Jazz in Salt Lake City, trying to hold on to big-name players. They lose all-star Gordon Hayward this past summer. And then you might recall Dominique Wilkins, who was drafted by the Jazz. He didn't want to play there.
Well, you know, the good news is you can focus on basketball, not too many distractions. And it's a beautiful city, safe with loyal fans and a chance to win.
Now here's Love, following the miss by Porzingis. Here's Gobert, uses the glass to finish the layup. Gobert's got 11.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their scrimmage.
Screen by Porzingis. And Ibaka kicks to Paul. Over Nelson. That's good from Paul on the assist from Ibaka. He's got 11.
Well, he's so efficient with the mid-range jumper. Few point guards have done it as well as Chris Paul.
Meeks passes to Gobert. And here's Love for 3. And no good trying to get that one. A big-time effort for Porzingis. All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
The first half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken?
Ken, as we break down the action. There was no stopping Kristaps Porzingis in the first half. He ended up with 15 points, 5 block shots, and 6 rebounds. Hey, big fella, what's your take on New York so far?
The speed they're playing with has been fantastic. They're pushing the ball in transition and catching the defense. That's snapping, Ernie. Anyway, a huge chunk of their offense has come on the break. They've got a nice lead, but they shouldn't slow anything down.
And that will...
Here's Paul. Checking out the group for Quinn Snyder to start the second half. We've got Kevin Love, Fournier out there with Nelson, and it's Rudy Gobert, and it's Ingles in at the small forward. Ennis kicks to Paul. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Over Nelson, and it's Paul missing.
Tough miss. He found some space inside the arc, but he couldn't deliver.
Now, here's Ingles, guarded closely. And here's Fournier. There's a good screen. Gobert dishes to Fournier. The Knicks pull it in. Ibaka's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Paul against Nelson. Ibaka outside. On the 3 off target. Jazz trail by 10. Three-pointer. And Jameer Nelson hits from deep. Nelson's got it going here in the start of the second half. The first points in the third quarter for Utah. New York's gone 6 of 11 when they're taking the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. Outside, Porzingis. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. And pretty much every NBA player grew up playing multiple sports. Smitty, which other sports did you play as a kid growing up? And did you think maybe that would have helped you playing basketball later on?
You know, Kevin, I tried football, and it definitely helped me in basketball because I said, no, this is not for me. So let me put all my emphasis in basketball. Taking those hits, I just wasn't built for that. And after that, I ran cross country because you had to do 2 sports in my high school to be able to play one. I didn't like that either, but I think cross country really helped me with basketball.
But I can see where a lot of other sports could help with footwork and hand-eye coordination and right on down the line.
Yeah, soccer, I think, is number one. I watched Tony Parker, the way his movement, playing soccer. My son right now is playing soccer, Hakeem Olajuwon. I think that's the sport that coincides the best with basketball.
I would agree. And the second free throw, good. And one strength, Greg, that this Knicks team has enjoyed the last couple of years has been their ability to win the rebounding game.
And that's back-to-back seasons, Kevin, in the top 10 for rebounding in terms of the Knicks. And it was something they wanted to improve upon starting a few years ago. They've changed their rebounding trouble into a big asset moving forward.
The Jazz have gone 3 for 3 at the line tonight. A free throw drops for Gobert.
Rudy Gobert, not that well known stateside when he was drafted in 2013. Didn't take him long, though, to make a big-time name for himself.
Lobs it up for Ibaka, and Ibaka slams it in.
I'll tell you, for a veteran, Ibaka still gets sky high on these alley-oops.
It was beautiful the first time, but Under Armour showing us the replay of that tremendous alley-oop again. Another unleash chaos moment. Nelson, the pass to Love, over Ibaka. The putback, and there's Gobert, putting it right back in. Gobert.